Hello everyone. My name is Kapil, and I want to share my views and my thoughts on the current burning issue, which is JNU. So, everybody here must have seen the media trial which is going on about what JNU is and how it's destroying India. Just like how earlier people were thinking that FTII, which is one of the most important film institute in India, was out there to destroy, just like AMU and all other universities. So I think rather than the country which is getting destroyed by the politician, I think probably now it's getting destroyed by poor students who are either studying on subsidy or they are uh, completely in debt while they are studying now. So I'll give my thoughts on the issue and how it started and how the entire government has failed to manage this issue properly and how it will cost them a lot. So now the issue started a few days back when a few students uh, gathered and chanted some so-called anti-national slogan. So I'm not here to justify a couple of statements or slogans which were made like India go back or India की बर्बादी तक जंग चलेगी and कश्मीर हमारा है केरल को आज़ादी दो. Obviously those statements were not there, but let's understand this thing in detail, that how quickly the government reacted when a few students, maybe they were paid or maybe they were frustrated because of the shitty condition of our country, and they just wanted some attention. It's not easy to protest in this country without being an asshole. You just try, you try to gather or you try to show some banners or you do whatever. There will be like lathi charge, so there, like we are still following that same shitty British India, or like what the British Empire used to do, with by suppressing people. Lathi charge, like that's like the simplest idea. But when the politician take a walk, okay, like we will sit for a hunger strike, everybody is like, okay, so Netaji बैठ रहे हैं protest पे, थोड़ा protect करना, ठीक है? So that's the condition of our country. So they shouted some slogans and shit just got real. Like everybody lost their mind, and more than a million tweets happening on Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp. All the virtual media is flooded. The entire social media is flooded with like, how dare these people say something like this? Let me adjust the light again. Excuse me, sorry for that. So everybody lost their mind. Now, help me understand one thing, and the reason why I'm telling you that the entire fucking country is stupid and whoever is protesting against this idea is really lost their mind. Now, so there were some students, okay, they have shouted some anti-Indian slogan. So first of all, personally, being an Indian citizen, I don't hate this country, but I hate the way this country is working. I, being a student, being a taxpayer, being a honest employee of my company, I do whatever is possible to make this country better, make this society better. I start from scratch. I start from my home, from the from my colony or mohalla, from my district, from my state, and then that's how you build the country. So imagine the government was as good with response, that the way they reacted to this protest of JNU. Imagine they reacted the same way when Sonia Gandhi was out there and she spent more than 700 crore rupees to build his fucking idiot son, whose name is Rahul Gandhi. And even she understand that he is a like good for nothing idiot, but she spent 700 crore to build that. Remember that campaign, "Main nahi hum"? Like, you remember? "Main nahi hum." Rahul Gandhi is the savior of this country. Obviously, there was a blitzkrieg going on with the Narendra Bhai Modi as well, like so-called "अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं" jumla, which I really doubt that they will be there anytime soon. So now the idiotic part is the entire country is taken for a ride. The driven force is the government, and the push or probably the accelerator is media. Now they are like, we don't have any problems at all. We had one problem, which was probably someone's burning earlier, but not the 1200 farmers which died. We had a major problem when uh, around why there is something happening in Shani temple, why people are not equal and all those things, but there is no focus on a major untouchability which is currently there in India. No, so nobody will comment on that. People will be like, politician will even come forward to like, hey, you know what? You are a Dalit, but from now on you are a Mahadalit. And then other guy comes that, boss, mera kya hoga? And they'll be like, you're a Mahadalit. So, so that's how the divide and rule works. Coming back to the same point of JNU. So the government reacted like pretty messed up. I mean, like the home minister. So first of all, we got the most moron, idiotic, and super stupid home minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh. I mean, he's the first most idiot home minister in India after we got independence. So he doesn't know anything. I mean, he'll be like, so ये जो छात्रों ने जेएनयू में जो विरोध प्रदर्शन किया है, वो विरोध प्रदर्शन का हाफिज सईद को का भी समर्थन प्राप्त है. सर, वो उसका इनपुट क्या है? हाँ, हमने उसका ट्विटर पे फेक हैंडल है उसको फॉलो किया और उस पे हमको फेक कंफर्मेशन मिला. सो इसमें हाफिज सईद का भी साथ है. This guy doesn't know anything. He is probably the worst home minister than probably I remember like Shivraj, some Shinde guy who was probably sleeping or probably at a dance bar or something while the Mumbai was burning on 26/11. So we always have these stupid home minister, but I think this one is doing a commendable job being one of the most stupid home minister like ever. So now again coming back to the same point of JNU. So now the police is standing right there since I don't know how many days to arrest those students which definitely did something wrong by chanting some anti-Indian slogans. But why the same police was not there when Salman was killing some people on the road? Why it took like 13 years to decide that he was drunk or not? Why Sheila Dikshit, who was involved in probably like a 20,000 crore rupees scam, is a mayor of a state? Where is that Kalmadi guy who was like the most culprit, most corrupt guy ever in India? Why the Gandhi family is still free? Why Robert Wardra is still free? I fail to understand. I mean, like, so the people who are not making any contribution to this country are so-called fucking politician or film industry people who does nothing just pay a little tax, but they don't give anything back to the society. They don't build. I haven't seen any free acting class by any movie star. I don't see any uh, cricket academy or sports academy by Sachin Tendulkar. So yeah, nothing's happening. But the people who are struggling to study, the students who are like probably like I think at the bottom of the pyramid in India, I think there is farmer, and after that, it's the poorest, most shittiest condition is being faced by students. Still an MBA, like after completing probably like an MBA or completing the pharmacy or probably like architecture course, a bachelor still getting offer for like 10,000 rupees per month salary. 10,000. Almost every single MBA must have spent like more than 5 lakh rupees for study, and he gets first offer for 10,000. The entire country is in sale. Country is on sale. Every single big politician is probably sucking balls of these so many so-called business tycoons like Ambani, Adani, and Tatas. And who gets punishment for the first? I mean, any first? The students or probably the farmers. Remember, like I think in 2010 or 11, when there was a very major protest on Mumbai Pune Expressway, and there were simple farmers, I mean, like probably like tribal people and farmers, and police open fired on them. Why? Because they can. So, and when we are taken on a ride because of these so-called politically motivated or sometimes even false killing because of beef, killing because of being a Dalit, killing because of being a Hindu or Muslim or Christian, that's how they divide us. JNU is a classic example of how a government divert you from a core issue which is currently country is facing. I'll give you two major example and I'll wrap up my thought video on this topic. A few weeks back, a lot of public sector banks in India waived off more than $100,000. Oh, sorry, let me correct. More than 1 lakh crore rupees. Yes, I think I'm correct. $100 billion from the banking industry. They waived off. They written $100 billion, and they're like, we can't recollect this money. It's just gone. Poof. It, it's gone like that. 1 lakh crore is gone, and people are crying about JNU. Seriously? Are you fucking out of your mind? Haven't you learned anything? The second topic is, I mean, the Achhe Din part, probably the Achhe Din News 789. So government has recently withdrawn the custom duty exemption for more than 83 life-saving drugs, life-saving medicines in India. So, for example, if a cancer medicine which was earlier costing more, around 40,000 rupees, now it will cost 75,000 rupees. And who will it impact the most? Not the politician. They can anytime go to USA. Remember Sonia's USA trip when she was like, okay, I'm coughing, let me go to US and spend 2,000 crore rupees. Yeah. So they don't get suffer. Who suffers? People like us. People like who are screwing their ass, slogging their ass every day from their college life, being after being then being a professional, then probably being an entrepreneur. We are the taxpayer. We are the builders of this country, not the business tycoons, not the politician, not all these people. Understand, and stick this thing to your mind that this JNU game is being played just to prove that how fucking stupid we are. Now, I'll just add one more point because the date is 24th, and I'll add one more point that today they came up with the idea that more than 3,000